Yeah, I'm John J. Thompson. I'm a creative director at Capitol CMG Publishing in Nashville, which is the Christian and gospel music division of Universal Music. And I specifically oversee our gospel songwriters, and I also do music supervision for some films, and I oversee lyric licensing for kind of new marketing, things like that. The first element of a song that strikes me might change depending on the genre that I'm listening to or the purpose I'm listening for. In gospel music, obviously, it's all about the lyric, and the challenge for a songwriter is to say something recognizable and relevant in a new way that's yet familiar enough to feel comfortable. It seems easier than it is. And a lot of times music, a great lick or a hook can help deliver that, but it really is going to come down to the first phrase of the lyric and the melody that first phrase is delivered. And even the cadence of how it's delivered is really going to be what tells me if this is going to be something relevant and fresh or not. The main revenue streams for gospel and Christian music are through still mechanical royalties from people buying recorded music. That's still an important thing. But as the music industry morphs and evolves and streaming and digital technologies become a bigger piece of the overall music consumer's experience, that type of revenue, things like Spotify and YouTube, is increasingly important. But with Christian and gospel music, we have a lot of print and a lot of church uses of music that a lot of other mainstream music sources don't have. So resourcing churches to use our songs is very, very important. We do it in a multitude of ways, from full-blown choral arrangements for big churches to church charts that are just guitar chords and lyrics for praise teams. We make sure to make it as easy as possible for worship leaders and choir directors to use our songs. And that source of revenue is a little bit different from a lot of other things. We still are very committed to film and television, getting our songs out into the culture that way. Obviously with Christian and gospel music, there are some limitations to that, but we're increasingly seeing our songs get used in some pretty exciting ways. Everything from NFL and ESPN to major Hollywood blockbuster films to small independent productions, and we're really committed to maintaining all of those things. As far as new streams of revenue, I would say that the film and television world is an increasing slice for us, but we've also just recently launched a whole program for licensing lyrics, and it's not a huge stream yet, but it is a new stream that really we don't think many or any of our competitors have done yet. So we're excited about that. This world of digital stuff with streaming is really probably the other big new thing that I doubt anybody really anticipated 6 or 7 years ago. And so we're committed to making sure that we're monetizing that appropriately and tracking it all over the planet, wherever it happens, making sure that our songwriters get paid, and again, that our songs are out there impacting the culture, because that's the point of gospel music in the first place. The gospel music industry in the last 2 to 3 years has seen some changes in terms of some of the inroads it's making. The results aren't clear yet, but I really, behind the scenes, I've seen some excellent cross collaborations in both the contemporary worship world, the CCM world, and starting to hear about gospel writers writing with some pop writers. I feel that we're due for another major breakthrough where a gospel song or artist impacts the culture at large. I think that might be fixing to happen. I believe that the digital revolution, the Spotify, Pandora, YouTube revolution is finally becoming much more mainstream to gospel music fans. And so that's the paradigm shift that's going on, is how people consume their music. They're moving from the model of hearing a song on the radio, buying the CD, to hearing a song on the radio or on Facebook and listening to it on Spotify, and then buying the CD only when they know there's 3 or 4 great songs on it. A Ty Tribbett record, people are going to listen to it on Spotify and find, man, they love so many songs, they want to own that one. Some other records, they might be satisfied to just download the single song that was a hit. That's changing how people are making records. It's changing how people are writing songs. It's changing a lot. And in the next 5 years, if I could write it out I'd be doing pretty well. One thing I've learned over the previous 5 years is not to underestimate the seismic shifts that are happening as a result of this digitization of music. 5 years ago, people were minimizing the significance of streaming. People were in denial over the fact that we were in a new era. Now people are seeing it, and when people like my parents are streaming songs online, this is not a fringe thing anymore. This isn't a fluke. The old ways are on their way out. And so in 5 years, I doubt we're going to see much left of physical music other than when people want to own a special edition, a sort of artifact, a really cool box set, special project thing that really connects them in a deeper level to an artist that they absolutely adore. I think people will buy fewer of those things, but they'll be willing to pay more for them when they do buy them. But I think people will be listening to even more music than they do now because they'll have access to all of it.